Let's bring up the chart for pound. I'm looking at GDP figures. They're just coming out of the UK. This is for the third quarter, and actually that quarter-on-quarter 0.4%. That was pretty much as expected. Year-on-year, actually, it's been revised upwards, 1.7% for the third quarter. So let's bring in Jane Foley and Dan Hanson, who's from Bloomberg Economics. Dan, first of all, first glance, what does this tell us?
So I think the year-on-year number's the most interesting. I think the economy looks like it's carrying a little bit more momentum than people had been expecting prior to today. I mean, the quarter-on-quarter figure's unchanged at 0.4, but the other figure I'm looking at here is index of services, which grew 0.2% month-on-month, which is a little bit higher than the consensus. But that suggests that Q4, the economy started on a pretty strong footing in Q4. We're expecting growth of 0.4 again over the quarter. So all in all, I think this is relatively strong and a little bit stronger than consensus had been expecting.
Yeah, Jane, I'm looking at total business investment. Again, that's been revised up. GDP, that year-on-year, 1.7%. Does this point to the fact that it's going to actually be easier, or that there will be a downturn more aggressively, longer term?
I think it's the case. I think we've got to look at the UK economy and perhaps in the context of European growth, perhaps and world growth. And of course, when we have the Eurozone growing so strong, it will float all boats. So, for instance, we've got UK growth at 0.4% Q-on-Q. When the first number came out a few months ago for that was higher than expected. But again, put it in context of German growth, 0.8% Q-on-Q. I think Spanish growth was also 0.8% Q-on-Q. So, stronger growth in a large part of Europe. The UK has been buoyed by that, and certainly if you look at manufacturers, they're performing well, particularly those with a strong export component because of that. So it's floating our boats. We're seeing a recovery in investment because of that. But in the words of Mark Carney, investment perhaps could have been stronger if it wasn't for the political uncertainty, and this is still, I think, a constraint on the UK economy.